back to my channel. Hi, I'm Tanealia. In today's video, we are going to be doing a Shop Missy haul. It's been a little while since I've done one of these. You guys, this order took, forever to get to me. It was probably about a month and a half from the time that I ordered it to the time that it finally got to me. It took about a month to ship and then another 2 weeks to get to me. It usually only takes a couple of weeks, 3 weeks at the most for me to get an order from Shop Missy. About 3 weeks in, I got an email saying that they had implemented a new system. They were trying to get orders out quicker. I guess they were having issues with it. It was glitching or something like that. And so it was taking longer than they were hoping that it would. So yeah, it's been about a month and a half since I made this order, but it is finally here. What we're going to do is we're just going to kind of do a quick haul. I'm going to show you the things that I bought that were not makeup related. And then the rest of it, we're just going to kind of go along as I try the products on. This is how the orders usually come. I don't think I've ever gotten one that came in a box. I know some people have, but this is generally how mine come in this nice little bubble wrap envelope, which just keeps everything nice and secure. You guys, I swear I just spent like 30 minutes getting all of the plastic wrapping off of all the products. I do appreciate the fact that Shop Missy does make sure that all the products are properly wrapped, that everything comes in secure, nothing is like ever broken or anything, but still, it's a lot. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with the products that were not makeup related before we jump into our try on. The first thing that I picked up are these disposable plastic ear covers. There are 10. Basically, they're like mini shower caps. They just go over your ears. And I thought they would be good for like if I'm coloring my hair or doing a hair dye or anything like that, just to kind of help protect my ears. And I thought my daughter could use these as well. 5 sets for $1. I think that's pretty reasonable. The next thing that I picked up is this nail polish corrector pen. It says it's refillable. What I'm thinking that you do is that you fill it up with nail polish remover and then you just take the tip and use it to like clean up your polish around the corners. That's actually pretty cool. The fact that you can refill it with your nail polish remover and just use it over and over again. I grabbed another one of my green tea and vitamin E cleansing balms. This is one of my favorite cleansing balms. As you guys know, you've been watching me for a while. So anytime I make a Shop Missy order, I always grab 1 or 2 of these for my backup. I grabbed 2 rings. These are really cute little serpent rings. I'll drop in close up so you guys could actually see the details because these are really neat. I got a gold one and a silver one. These have a pretty nice weight on them. They don't feel like super cheap or anything. The little like, you know, faux diamonds, those actually look pretty good too. I'm looking forward to wearing these. I also ordered a little ring that had a red heart on it. That's not in my order. I'm guessing that they ran out of them, but they did give me a $3 credit, so I'm okay. You know, once it comes back in stock, I can always get it then. A few more things that are not makeup related, and then we will jump into our try on. I grabbed from Airway Studios. This is the Extra Coarse Exfoliating Pumice Bar. Removes calluses and hard skin. I've been really into like getting my feet like super smooth and soft, especially as we're starting to go into the spring and summer months. So I grabbed this to try out. I desperately needed some more eyebrow razors. I don't pluck my brows. I use an eyebrow razor just to kind of clean up everything underneath. And these are from Tinkle, I think it's the brand. There are 3 in here. And these actually fold so you can store them away without risking cutting yourself or anything. I've never used the Tinkle brand. I've heard like, you know, kind of hits and misses about them. Some people like them, some people don't. So I thought I would give them a try. I usually get my eyebrow razors from a local beauty supply store, but I haven't had a chance to go by in a while. And I just thought I would go ahead and try these out. And then the last thing that I picked up that is not makeup related. This is from the OKI Official Key Items Collection, A+. A+ is one of the charities. Most of the stuff here I think may be charity related. I'm not exactly sure. They have different charities, and if the product is like underneath one of those charities and a portion of the money, basically everything that's over $1 gets donated to that charity, which I think is pretty cool. These are black label stickers. They're removable waterproof labels for organizing. I love to label things, like label bins and my little baskets and stuff like that, and I thought these would be pretty cool. It says there are 4 sheets, so that's actually a decent amount. So there are 12 labels altogether, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to make good use of these. Now for the fun part, the makeup. I have almost a full face. I have a lot of like eyeshadows and like highlighter type products. I don't have a primer, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and prime using my Essence Poreless Partner Primer. This is the mattifying and blurring with niacinamide. It's one of the things that's newer to my collection. I'm going to do this off camera and then we'll come back and jump into putting on foundation. For foundation, I bought a couple of their new foundation sticks. These are from Airway Studios. They have a specific name. These are the A+ Eraser Foundation Sticks. I grabbed 2 shades. There's only like 6, I think, so it's not like a big shade range at all. So it was a little bit hard to pick my actual shades. You had the shade that was in a stick, and then you had the swatch, and they didn't really match. I grabbed one that looked like it might be a skin tone match, and then one that's like a little bit deeper. I figured if this one was too deep, I could use it as a bronzer, and it looks like it is. This shade is amber. That's going to be way too dark for me, I think. Let me see. You know what? Let's do a quick little swatching on the cheek here. Wow. Do you see how cool and neutral that is? It looks so much warmer in the stick, but on. That is so weird. It's like it's very, very cool and neutral. The shade is not like too dark for me, but that is extremely neutral and cool toned. This one is called Soft Tan. This one should be pretty close to a shade match. Now that looks like it's too light. Do you see that? That is so weird, but that's the way it was when I was looking at these online. What it looked like in the tube versus what it looked like in the swatch were like completely different. I might mix the two and just kind of see where we go. It feels kind of creamy in texture. I've never really used a foundation stick, so I don't really know how it's going to blend out. This is kind of like my first experience really with using one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take Soft Tan and I'm just going to apply that all over and then blend in the amber. I swear, y'all, shade matching online, it is always so difficult. I'm going to mix in a little bit of amber and we're just going to blend everything together, just kind of see what happens. I'm going to try blending with my sponge first. And if that doesn't work, then we'll go in with a brush. I don't really ever use a brush to blend. I usually just use a sponge. Ooh, so far that's actually blending out pretty well. The formula is pretty creamy. The 2 shades mixed together are actually making a pretty decent shade match. The coverage is actually pretty decent. It's not like super heavy. It's kind of like a medium to full. I'm going to blend in just a little bit more around this area, my nose. The finish is actually pretty nice. It's not like super smooth. It's not the best finish that I've ever gotten from a foundation, but it's not terrible. Especially when you consider the fact that I only paid, I think, $1.88 or something like this for each stick. I'm gonna now try to use it as a concealer. I'm noticing that it's not sticking very well to my nose. Yeah, it's not working very well as an under eye concealer, and it's just not sticking to my nose at all. I have my Milani Conceal and Perfect concealer here. The shade is in Warm Beige. I'm going to use this just to help give me a little bit of coverage on my nose and then under the eyes, and then we'll move into powder. To set my face, I have 3 new face powders here. These are brand new to the AOA Studio line. I went ahead and I grabbed all 3. They were like $1.88 each. We have the Puff and Set setting powder. This shade is in Banana. Then we have Translucent. And then the last one is like the Brightening Banana. I thought I could try this one underneath my eyes specifically. I'm going to set all over with the Banana powder. So we're going to use this one. I really like the one from the formula they had before. I noticed that they have not been restocking it, so I'm guessing this is a new formula that they're replacing that one with. So far, these 3 shades are the only ones that they have. I'm guessing that they might be expanding the formula if they're discontinuing the old one. A little ASMR here. Comes with a little powder puff. That's new. The old formula didn't come with a powder puff. The way that I like to apply my powder is I take it and I just kind of shake it into the lid of the powder. Looks like it's your typical banana powder. And then I take my sponge and I start just kind of blending it into the skin. For me personally, using a sponge, I find, just helps to really blend the powder into the skin and just helps it really set everything down and help give me a smoother finish. I've tried using brushes with powder and I don't really like them. All right, the finish is nice. Definitely feels matte. It's not as smooth a finish as the original formula, but then again, it could just be this foundation stick. You know, sometimes two products don't work well together. I'm not really liking the way everything is looking right now. The powder is definitely sticking to the foundation stick in like kind of like weird places. It's just sticking to it weird. But I'm pretty sure that's the foundation stick and not the powder. Like I said, I've never really used a foundation stick before. And I'm looking kind of pasty. I don't know what it's looking like for you guys on camera on the other end, but yeah, I'm looking a little ghostly right now. All right, so let's try the brightening powder underneath my eyes. I'm going to take this little brush from AOA Studio and just kind of tap into the powder and then tap it underneath my eyes. All right, I do see a little bit of brightening, not much though. It definitely doesn't have any coverage. It's more like a brightening translucent powder. I like a little bit more coverage underneath my eyes. I do not have a new eyebrow pencil or bronzer, so I'm gonna do that off camera. I'm gonna do my brows using this e.l.f. brow pencil, and then I'm going to bronze using my Viseart Bronze Noisette bronzer. I definitely need a little bit of color going on my face. I'm feeling like I look really, really ghostly right now. I'm feeling so much better now that I actually have a little bit of color going onto my face because I was looking extremely ghostly there. All right, let's move on to blush and highlight. I have two palettes here that they're kind of like multi-use palettes. These are the multi-color baked eyeshadow blush highlighter palettes. They're the Fly With Me palettes. There were 4 altogether. These are the 2 that I grabbed. Forest Queen. This one just has really pretty, rich, like pinks and purples in there. You know, this lighter, like highlighty shade. Everything in here is like a luminescent highlightery type formula. So I'm not going to use any of them as blushes. I mainly got them to use as either highlighters or like shimmery eyeshadows. And then this one is Emerald Peacock. This one I really loved. That green right there and the gold, just absolutely gorgeous. This is going to be beautiful for putting together like St. Patrick's Day type theme looks. Since neither one of these is going to work as like a blush, I went ahead and I pulled my Lunar Beauty Moon Prism blush palette. We're going to pull our blush from here. And I think I'm going to use this one. That shade is Spacey. If you have not used any of the blushes from Lunar Beauty, they are really, really beautiful. I'm hoping that he launches singles, maybe some like, you know, deeper, richer shades. I might pull something out of here when I do my actual eye look, but for highlighters, I grabbed 2 of their new singles. These are the Everglow highlighters. There were 3 shades. I just grabbed 2. This one is Morning Star. I like the packaging. It looks very luxe. This one is a kind of pinky, peachy coral. There are definitely little like gold specks in there that I'm seeing in the compact. I'll drop in a close-up. It's a really pretty flower embossed in this. And then the second one, the one that I'm actually going to use today, this one is Magic Hour. This is more like a muted pink, kind of a rose gold shade. This is the one that I'm going to use today. I might go back on and go ahead and grab the other one. I was thinking that this one had more of a champagne-y kind of a gold. I guess it looked a little bit different on the website. Got a lot of product on my brush. I'm going to tap it on my hand and let's start applying. Oh, that is really glowy. So pretty. It's not like a super smooth highlighter. It definitely has a little bit of texture to it, but that is pretty. I'm going to take my sponge, just kind of blend it together, like pat it down so we don't have like a giant streak going across our cheek. And then I'm going to go back in with my blush brush rather, and just soften everything together. I don't ever put highlight on my nose, you know, like you see some YouTubers kind of going down the middle, because I have oily skin. My nose gets shiny very, very quickly, so there's really no point in putting highlighter on it. I also grabbed 3 of these little shimmering body sticks. It's part of a new like character line that AOA Studio has launched. These are the Body Glow Rollers. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch these real quick. This one is Poppy's Glow Dust. I think there were 6 all together. I just grabbed the ones that were more like something I didn't already have. Look at that. Ooh, that is so pretty. Very, very shimmery. That is gorgeous. It's really powdery though. This one is Lulu's Glow Dust. It's a bright purple. That's what that one is looking like. That one has a really pretty kind of an iridescent glow to it. It's really nice. And then the last one is Pawpaw's Glow Dust. This one looks like it has more of a rosy, kind of a champagne-y gold to it. That one right there. It's really pretty. I'm looking forward to like pulling these out as we get closer to the summertime, since they are technically body shimmers, but I'm sure you can use them like on your cheeks and on your eyelids and all that as well. Before we move into the actual eyeshadow palettes that I picked up, I do want to swatch a couple of shades in these multicolor baked face palettes here. Mainly these two right here. I just really want to swatch them. Very, very creamy formula. On, it's actually looking a little more gold, like very limey green. It's super creamy. Like in the pan, it's like really creamy and bouncy. I like those type of formulas. This one is like that goldy shade. Very pretty. They're shiny, but they're not like super shiny, not like super wet looking. Definitely too luminescent for like a blush, but not too bad for a highlighter. See what this ruby one is looking like. It's pretty. I'm going to go ahead and swatch one more. I want to see what this darker shade on the end is looking like. It's got like a very deep kind of a brownish tone to it in the pan. Looks like a brownish plum. Let's see what that looks like. That's a rich, like deep kind of a brown plum shade. Ooh, I bet that'd be really pretty for like deep, rich, smoky look. For shadow, I picked up this set of 4. These are called Yumi's Debut. This is like a newer character to the Shop Miss A line. I just thought it was super cute. I was going to pick up like maybe a couple of individual ones, but this packaging gets me every time. And it was only like $7 for the 4. I did think they were a little bit bigger, so they're a little bit smaller than I was thinking they were, but they're still super cute. This one is called Igyo. I know I'm probably saying that wrong. I'll put the names up on the screen along with close-ups of the palette so you guys can see what they look like a little bit better. But this one, she has a little smile on her face. There's little plums and pinks in there. 3 mattes, 3 shimmers. None of these color stories are like particularly revolutionary. They have launched color stories like these before, but like I said, I mean, they got them for the packaging. This one is called Trainee. She's holding a little cupcake on the cover of this one, and then that is our color story. Very soft, like corally pinks, some soft browns in here. This would be really pretty for just like soft everyday looks in the spring. Once again, 3 mattes, 3 shimmers. This one is Eye Smiles. She just has a cute little simple smile on the cover of this one. And then this one is just a really pretty peachy corally color story. This shade right here looks gorgeous. I'm going to swatch that real quick. Oh, that is pretty. It's super creamy. Oh, that is stunning. That is absolutely gorgeous. The shade's a little bit glittery, but it's those fine, super fine glitters. It's not like chunky or anything. Very pretty. And then the last one is called Fan Club. So cute little smile in that picture as well. This one, you have kind of a mixture. It's a mixture of like plums, lavender. You also have like this little orange, which is kind of random to me. I feel like that's kind of out of place with the rest of the color story, but this is the 4th one. I think this is the one that I'm going to go with. I'm not even going to try to say that name. I know I'm going to butcher it, but I think this will go really well with the blush that's on my cheeks. I'm going to go in with this one first into the crease, and I'm going to use the Blend Bunny 4 to apply that. First things first, I realized that I did not prime my eyelids yet, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is the Ultimate Base Eye Primer in medium for Makeup Revolution, so we're going to do that real quick first. Now we're ready for shadow. So go ahead, go into the crease, this shade. Ooh. So far it seems pretty pigmented. One thing I will say about AOE Studio eyeshadows is that even though you're only paying like a couple of dollars for an eyeshadow palette, they tend to be really nice formulas, really pigmented, blendable. Never really had an issue, you know, where the blending and the pigment and all that stuff is concerned. And that shade is super pigmented. Oh, that is nice. And blending out really well. I'm going to take my detail blending brush from Beauty Bay and go into this deeper kind of a plum shade and lay that on the outer corner. It's got a decent amount of fallout in the pan. I'm just going to use this to deepen the outer corner. Another pretty shade. It's not like super deep and rich and pigmented, but it is giving me just the right amount of depth on the outer corner. It's very pretty. Now I'm going to take this fluffier brush and go into the lighter pink shade just to kind of blend out the top of that deeper like maroon kind of shade I laid on at the beginning. Sometimes I'll lay the lighter shade down first all over the lid. And then other times I just like to use it just to kind of blend and soften out the edges, which is the way that I'm using it today. I'm not really wild about any of the shimmers in the palette, so I'm going to go into one of the multicolor face eyeshadow palettes. This one, once again, is Forest Queen. I think I'm going to lay this one all over the lid and then maybe go into this one in the inner portion. I'm just going to use this flat shader brush. This shade right here actually has like little kind of gold specks in it. If you're someone that likes a really glowy blush, you probably like using this formula as a blush, but I mean, I know it's going to be too much. But it's really pretty as a shimmery shadow. It's not like super, super shiny. It's more like of a kind of a satin shimmer. I'm sure if I use like a glitter base or wet my brush, it would be a little bit more intense, but I'm not really caring about that right now. Like a very soft look is good enough for today. I'm going to go into the flat angled brush of this double-sided Beige Cosmetics brush, and we are going to go in to this shade for the inner portion. I'll probably just leave it as my inner corner highlight as well because it seems to be bright enough to use for that. Yeah, that's perfect. I don't need to add anything as an inner corner highlight. It's really nice. This shade's definitely a little brighter and shimmery than that first shimmer that I laid down. Alright, so I also do not have a liner or new lashes, so I'm going to do that off camera and then we will come back and finish off with our lips. Finishing off with lips, I grabbed two of the AOA Studio Fly With Me lip crayons. This first shade is in Buttercup. It's kind of a peachy nude. Oh, that's pretty. Nice little creamy formula. I still have glitter on my hands from those highlighter swatches. And this shade is in Utopia. It's like a pinker one. I think this is the one that I'm going to use today. It's pretty. The formula seems really, really nice and creamy. I'm going to apply this just straight without using a lip pencil first and see how that little tip goes on. And it does twist up, so that's nice to know. These smell really, really good. Alright, so it actually kind of lines the lips pretty easily too. Formula is nice and creamy. I like the way that looks. I like the way that feels. I like the way it went on. This could be a really good alternative if you're like trying to hurry and get out the door, but you want like a nicer defined lip. You don't have time for an actual lip pencil. This seems like a really nice kind of double duty product. I'm really liking it so far. That's everything that I picked up as far as the makeup portion part of this haul. The foundation sticks I didn't really like. They were okay, but I just don't feel like they really blended well over the skin. I didn't really like the finish, and the shade range and undertones are absolutely terrible. Both of these look warmer in the tube, but when you put them on, they're very, very cool, very kind of neutral leaning. The shade Amber, which is the deepest shade, by the way, that they have, is very ashy and gray looking. So if your skin is of a deeper skin tone, this is probably just going to look gray and ashy on you. It's not going to work very well. I don't know what I think about the setting powder. I don't think it worked very well with the foundation sticks. I'm definitely going to try it with my liquid foundations first before I give like my final thoughts on it, because over the foundation sticks it didn't work very well, so I don't think I got a really good impression of what this powder is actually going to do. So I will update you guys in the future. The highlighter was really, really pretty. I think Magic Hour is the one that we put on today. It's really, really nice. It's smooth. It does have a little bit of like microfine glitters to it, but it's not like super textury. Like you're not seeing like all the texture on my skin. She did like this. The eyeshadow palette was really nice as well. I have no complaints about the LA Studio eyeshadow formula. I've always really liked it when you consider the fact that these palettes are only a couple of dollars. The formula is always really nice. The formula in the face palette was really good too. And so far, I'm also liking the lip crayon. Pretty sure this is not like transfer resistant or anything like that. I'm pretty sure that it is going to transfer, but the formula is smooth. It's comfortable. I like the way that it looks on my lips and the fact that it has that nice little point so you can basically kind of line your lips and fill them in at the same time, you know, in case you don't have time to use a separate lip liner. So that's going to be it for this haul and try on. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up. It really does help with the channel. If you're new to my channel and you're not already subscribed, I would love it if you would consider joining my little family and hitting subscribe. And make sure you tap the bell so you don't miss a thing. And you can also follow me on my other socials. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Be safe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.